So I'm going to leave you with a story that explains why it is so important to build systems. Because if you don't build systems, bad things can happen. Okay? Here is why. During COVID, okay, the first ever pandemic that I have come to experience and known, I traveled to Ghana 3 times. The thing that shocked me, though, when I arrived in Ghana and I found that life was going on as usual, where I came from, okay, everything was shut down. Roads were empty, cities were silent, everyone was locked indoors. The government said, stay home, you will be paid. And people got paid. In America, some people were still remoting, working full time for their companies. Companies were paying them full salary, but the government still gave people money, checks, COVID related checks. So they made more money during COVID. Meanwhile, you come to Ghana and people are out and about. And I'm thinking, what is going on here? Well, I think it's obvious, right? The government of Ghana cannot afford to let people stay home and get paid. Already, when there is no COVID and people are struggling for jobs, government cannot help them, let alone just stay home. We're going to just pump money and stuff to you. Maybe you can have some charity related food donation for a few weeks or even that. After that, you need to get out there, get your butt out there and earn your own livelihood. So people were thinking, okay, government says stay home. But hunger doesn't quarantine. I may quarantine myself, but hunger wouldn't. If I stay home, I'm going to suffer from hunger, starvation, me and my children, if I have children, my family. Well, then I'm going to risk it and go out there. Maybe I won't get COVID. And if I don't, I will earn my living, right? Well, the only place that they want you wear a mask, because if you went to a bank, some government office or some office, MTN, phone company's office, that sort of thing, then you put on the mask. As soon as you left it, most people just remove the mask as if it was just a show to satisfy somebody. They just remove the mask and went about their business. So everybody was out. You go to Mokala Market, you go to a Doom Market, people were out there. Some people were wearing masks drawn down a little bit, but social distancing, how do you do actually social distancing in a Ghanaian African market? It's not possible, right? We are on top of each other. But people went on and did what they needed to do. Life was moving normal. People had to work. And so they did. Most people survived it. Those who passed away they had a pre-existing conditions. Very, very few people died. This would have been a worldwide news, but it wasn't, right? The African immune system proved to be resilient, strong. It kept people safe from COVID version 1. People didn't die. But imagine the next pandemic being a deadly one. No mercy. If you get it, you die. No flights anywhere. No aid coming in because nobody is flying to give you aid. Nobody comes to check on Africa. Now here comes the funny part, but painful part. After 1 month or 2 or 3, it could be 5, the world reopens. The first plane lands at Kotoka International Airport or Mutala International Airport in Lagos. The pilots try to connect with the control tower a few miles before landing, and they were greeted with silence. No response from the ground. They wondered what is going on. Well, they kept approaching the airport. They could see the runway, so they landed anyway safely. They come out, look around, silence. No workers, no passengers, no immigration officers, nothing. The pilot radios back and says, headquarters, we have a situation here in our hands. Headquarters, what was going on? Everybody is dead. Accra is a ghost town. Lagos too. Nobody is here. They're all dead. And headquarters is like, are you serious? This must be some kind of joke, right? It's not April 1st. Cut it out. No, so this is correct. This is true. No, nobody is here. People have died. So they call White House. White House is panicking, trying to figure out with State Department. Well, is that true? Well, State Department is shut down. They move all their people out of Africa. They are back in Washington D.C. so they can help. We don't know. We're still in D.C. The world is shut down because this thing here is crazy. They didn't open any door for anybody to leave. If you're an African and you have money that you can travel, you have family, you could just go to Dubai, right? No, you couldn't. This time it's shut down. Everything is shut down. So you stayed in Africa and you got the virus that will kill you. And so the U.S. calls London. Have you heard the news? Anything? I hear there's pretty bad things happening in Africa over there. They call Beijing. Do you know something? The whole world is panicked. African population is decimated by COVID version 2. Dead. Yes, everybody is dead. Population over 1.4 billion, if not more. Could be 1.5, could be 1.6. A lot of people. Massive continent. Population is reduced to a couple of 100,000. People have died from COVID version 2 because the world needed to protect itself. They ain't gonna open the door to let some virus, sneak in and kill them like ants. No, they shut their doors because that is what every human being would do, to protect themselves first. That's what they would do. There will be no aid. There will be nothing. Africa will be left to figure it out. And we can do nothing, right? That is just natural consequences. Life happens. Whether that COVID version 2 was released from some laboratory or it was just a natural consequences of the virus from version 1 mutating into something that is more deadly and saying, yeah, I got these guys. This time around, they aren't going to take it easy on me. Right? It can happen. We don't know the trajectory where these things is going to take. So we need to be prepared and begin to do things the right way. By the way, so the whole world is panicked. Africans have died. But you call Elon Musk, hey Elon, your people, they're dead. Have you heard the news? Elon says, what do you mean? My people. Say Africans, Africa. COVID version 2, I've killed all of them. And Elon goes, I stopped the joke. That's not funny. And then he realized that, no, that call is coming from actually a reputable government office from DC. He said, are you serious? I said, yeah, this is very serious. They call Jeff Bezos. Jeff calls Bill Gates. Bill Gates called Warren Buffett. And they were like, oh my goodness, this is terrible. This is a continent that is such a wonderful continent with wonderful people. It's unbelievable. They would be truly sad that it happened. For 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds. Because life goes on. The world will move on. Okay, the world will move on. If the entire African population got killed by COVID version 2, the entire world will move on. It will be sad. But black people will not be missed. Because why? Black people are still thriving all over the place. North America, Canada, United States, South America, Asia, Europe. Black people everywhere. So the black race ain't going anywhere. But the black continent, Africa, the home for black people, will no longer be predominantly black because we all died from COVID version 2. We couldn't take care of it. The land the Creator entrusted in our hands, we played political games with it. We couldn't work together. We couldn't work together to use our creativity, the discipline required to take care of it. We didn't. We just continued to live the way our ancestors lived 10,000 years ago. Technology is all around us. Knowledge is all around us. We study brilliant people, brilliant mind. Goodness. Seen some brilliant Africans. It's unbelievable. We fail to use it. When they go back to that continent to do work, the system there, it's not really systems, right? So what is in Africa right now is sort of like systems, but it's not. It's something else, really. So when you go there, no matter your brilliance, you got Conform. You have to conform to it. Because if you don't, you cannot make it. But it's not systems for productivity. It's not systems for progress. It's systems for indulgence. Systems for self-preservation. It's not for society preservation. You see what I'm saying? And so when we did those things and COVID version 2 came, it killed all of us. And there is precedence for this. Again, it's a joke and it's exaggerated, but it can happen. Look, when Europeans came to North America, the Native Americans, what we used to call the American Indians, no, the Native Americans who lived on the land here, most of them died from diseases. Bacteria and viruses is what killed them more than the guns, the fighting. The world did what? The world moved on. So if it happens to Africa because of our negligence, the world will move on. Black people will be here, thriving, doing so well outside Africa. But that continent we say we are so proud of, it will not be in our hands anymore because we all died and we couldn't take care of it. And guess what? People will say this is a really terrible loss. But at least the land is still there. The resources are still there. We can use it for those of us who are still behind. The world needs that. True. The electric age. The resources to power the electric age is all there.